Hey guys, this is Gossip Girl PK and today's video is kind of a partial upload, or let's call it part 1 of a 2-part series on flawless foundation here on my channel. So in today's video, I'm going to be covering everything about color correction for us brown skin Asian women. And by Asian, I really only mean women of the subcontinent. So basically us Pakistani and Indian beauties. While the principles behind color correction may be the same across the board for everyone, the techniques we use, the colors we use, and all of that can differ for us, for white women and for black women. In today's video, I'll walk you through how I color correct the skin under my eyes as well as the rest of my face. So without further ado, let's just quickly jump right into the video. Alright guys, so I've already primed my face. You guys will see an in-depth tutorial on my foundation routine, all the tips and tricks in an upcoming video in a couple of days, hopefully by Monday or Tuesday, depending on how soon I can edit both of these videos up and put them online. But definitely come back for more foundation tips and tricks. For today, I'm only going to be talking about color correction. The concealing part of it will also be discussed in next video. But I think today's video is especially important because it's a Pakistani girl's perspective on color correction. I understand your dark circles. I understand your skin type. I understand the frustration of looking at a YouTuber piling on layers and layers of light colored concealer or highlighter under their eyes and them making it look like super beautiful and flawless, whereas every time you try that trick out, it's a hot cakey mess. Believe me, I've been there, I've done that, and I can absolutely understand it. We all watch YouTube videos. I personally love watching them. Everything I know about makeup, I know it through YouTube. So while we love watching YouTube videos, it is important to keep in mind that these women that we are watching have completely different skin types. They have completely different skin tones. And on top of that, they have this very flattering lighting as well as very nice cameras that makes everything look flawless and perfect. And most importantly, makeup and interest in beauty and skincare kind of go hand in hand. So chances are that all of these YouTubers you're watching are using some really high-end good quality skincare products, and so they really don't have that many dark circles to begin with. So while it's okay for them to use a very light concealer under the eyes and it looks absolutely beautiful on them, when we try that, it's going to give us a very strong gray cast. Now, highlighting is a technique in makeup that's designed to bring more attention to certain aspects of your makeup or certain features, and we really don't want to bring any more attention to the under eye circles. What we want to do for our Asian skin tones is basically correct them, not highlight them. It's so weird and confusing and stupid that the concepts of concealing and the concepts of highlighting have been intertwined here in the YouTube community, and people perceive them as one and the same thing. Trust me, they're not one and the same thing at all. So I personally like to start by priming the skin underneath my eyes, because the more hydrated the skin underneath your eyes is, the better the concealer will blend on top. And today I'm going to be using the Becca Undereye Hydrating Primer. It's a fancy specialty product, so it's a little more expensive, but if I'm being completely honest, you can get the same results using coconut oil as well. Sure, it's going to be a little more messy, and you have to be careful that you don't apply too much, because if you apply too much oil under your eyes, it's gonna be a messy situation. But basically, it does the same thing. So if you're just being a little careful, you're gonna get the same results. All we want is a little hydration underneath the eyes, so everything can blend seamlessly on top of it. Once I have the moisture locked in, I would now like to go in to my color correcting palette. And if you've been around on my channel for a while, you definitely have seen this palette before. In fact, you haven't seen this one. You have seen my old busted palette. Look at that. I've completely used up the orange shade here. I've almost completely used up a lot of these other shades as well. I love these color correctors, they are absolutely amazing, but I'm definitely done with this. I'm counting this an empty. I've been fighting the urge to open this one up, but in honor of today's video, we are now going to inaugurate this new color correcting palette. This, by the way, is a Chinese brand known as Carmela. I really like their stuff. Other options you might have are the NYX color correcting palette. I've heard great things about that one as well. And then those individual LA Girl Pro Conceal color correcting fluids, those can be great too, but you will have to buy both of these online, since I don't think LA Girl or NYX are locally available in Pakistan, so you will have to buy them from online pages. But I think these are good options to go to. So I'll post a color wheel here on the screen for reference. And the colors that are opposite on this color wheel are basically what will cancel each other out. So if you can see on the color wheel, greens will cancel out reds and oranges will cancel out blues and purples. Depending on your skin tone and the lightness or darkness of your under eye circles, you can totally select the lightness or darkness of your color corrector. So for example, if you have a very fair skin, and sure, your under eye circles are darker than your skin, but they're still pretty light, you can definitely select a very light shade of orange, for example, a peachy salmony shade, and that will work just fine for you. But if you're someone with a deeper complexion and your under eye circles are even deeper than that, then you can go ahead and use a really dark shade of orange corrector, and that will work just fine for you as well. I personally like to use this shade right over here on a day-to-day when my under eye circles are behaving, because it's a happy medium, not too light, not too dark. But today I definitely feel like my under eye circles could use a little more correction. So this is the shade that I will be using today to correct them. For color correctors, I cannot stress enough how important a good formula is. I love these. This palette is my favorite for a reason. For a color corrector to properly color correct, you need to find the happy medium between not too emollient and not too dry. If it's too dry, it's not going to blend properly, and the concealer and foundation are even going to look cakier on top of it. But if it's too emollient, it's going to sink right into the skin and it's not going to be as effective. For a color corrector to properly color correct, it needs to be something that blends into the skin easily but does not blend away. It has to maintain a presence on top of the color that you're targeting to correct. I love these because they are a happy medium between not too emollient and not too dry. They just warm up to the touch of my skin and they make it really easy for them to blend under the eyes. So I know it looks a little crazy right now, but foundation and concealer are going to fix that, so I'm not going to worry about that. But now I'm going to take this green corrector. You can see in the color wheel that red will be corrected using green. And I feel like I have some redness on my cheeks as well as my chin today because I waxed my face today. So I will be using some green color corrector on top of that. I'm also going to use a little bit of this green right on top of this area where the orange one is ending. I feel like this little overlap really brightens up the skin and highlights where it has to highlight without bringing any attention to the under eye circles. And finally, I want to target some dull areas around my face, and for that I'm going to use the purple corrector. I personally like to mix the purple one with this really light shade because for my skin tone I feel like that's the best combination kind of. So I'm going to use those two colors and I'm really going to concentrate on it anywhere where I feel like my skin is a little dull. So around my lips, I feel like I get a little gray or dark there. Can you see how easily the color correctors are blending into my skin, but they're still sitting on top? They haven't blended away. That's what I'm talking about when I'm saying you want to find a happy medium. I'm also going to take a little bit on my nose and on my forehead. So I'm all color corrected now, looking very colorful and fancy right now, I know. But we are done for this part of the tutorial. Come back in a few days time because I'm going to continue putting on my foundation, concealer and powder right now. And I'm going to leave all the juicy, nice tips and tricks for flawless foundation in that video. So come check that out in a few days. When it's already up, I will leave a link to that in the description box for easy access. Alright guys, so that completes today's video. I hope it was helpful. I think the biggest lesson to learn from today's video is that color correcting and concealing is definitely not the same as highlighting. YouTubers may very well highlight their under eyes and call it concealing, but that doesn't make it one and the same thing. So anyways guys, give this video a big thumbs up if you found it helpful, and if you're excited about part 2 of this video, I will see you in that one. Bye.